Hello, why is my camera shaking? Okay. I got a new tripod and I like my old one better, but that one broke. I have this one and this one keeps shaking. But anyway, so hello my loves. Welcome back. This is a requested video from Michelle, one of my great subscribers. I'm just gonna talk about why I started homeschooling. And I'm telling you guys this while I'm cooking dinner, making meatloaf right now. So, I knew that I always wanted to homeschool when I was like younger, like when my son was like around 1 before he even started school. I always said, oh, I'm gonna homeschool my kids, you know, I want them to learn certain things, you know, I went to public schools, I don't want them to go to public schools. Not that public schools are horrible, but you know, with my own experiences, I didn't want my kids to experience that. So I let my son go to school just to see how he would like it, how I would like it, you know. So let him go to school. Preschool was great. He had a great, awesome teacher. So preschool was great. Kindergarten, he did good in kindergarten. You know, there was no problems. But it was when he hit first grade, which was in 2020, when you know, the pandemic hit and school was virtual. So sorry, I'm trying to cook and talk. Like, I suck at multitasking sometimes. But anyway, so it was 2020, and that's when problems started to, you know, happen for him, and I started to see problems because he was in school virtual, so I can hear everything that was going on. I can listen to what he was learning, but it wasn't much about what he was learning. It was more of how the teachers talk to him. So me and my mom were taking college courses at the same time he was doing school, and she would, you know, walk by his room to use the bathroom or something, and then she would hear like the teachers talking to him, and then I would hear him talk to him. And compared to our professor and his teacher, our professor was talking to us gentle, and she was very, very nice. And then you would listen to his teacher, and she'd be yelling and like, I get it, you're stressed, your teachers have to go through a lot dealing with all those kids, but I didn't like the way that, you know, she talked. Because I noticed when DJ was younger that the easiest way for him to learn is when you have to be kind of like real, like soft spoken, and you know, if you're yelling at him, it's hard for him to learn. He won't learn it. And that's basically what his teacher did, like the whole school year. So fast forward to the end of first grade, she had a meeting with me, and she goes that she thinks that DJ should stay back and he should get tested for an IEP. And I'm like, what? I'm like, really? And I couldn't believe it, because, you know, when he's with me, he learns quick and easy. So I was just like, whoa. So I talked to his dad about it, and I said they wanted DJ to stay back, and he said no. Basically, he was like, don't let them keep him back. And so I was like, oh, okay. I was with it too, so I told him I don't want him to stay back. You know, I know he doesn't have an IEP. I don't want him to stay back. So they moved him forward. So now we're fast forwarding to second grade. He's in second grade. You know, the year's going by. Halfway through the year, I go to the school and I asked him, like, Oh, I forgot to put the cheese. Hold on, be back. Okay, so halfway through the year, no, the beginning of the year, I had went to the school because I picked him up every day, and I was asking him like, hey, how's DJ doing in school? Because I don't hear anything, you know, about what's going on with him. And she's like, he's great, he's awesome, he does so good, right? Remember that. And I'm thinking, you know, he doesn't need any help, he's doing good. And you know, I should have been checking to like see what he was doing, but at that time I was working a lot. I was doing home health aid work, and I was working a lot, so you know, I wasn't really on it how I should have been. So so halfway through the year, he gets his second report card, and it was literally almost all F's. So I was so confused. I'm like, hold up. I'm like, how is he doing so good? Why does my baby only have all these F's, right? So I asked them, and so I went back to the school the next day, and I asked her about, well, I think it was like after vacation. I think it was after vacation. So I asked her, and I'm like, you told me DJ was doing good, and he has all F's. And she's like, well, he's such a good student, he's so quiet. When there's such good students like that and they don't ask for help or anything like that, it kind of, you know, goes over us, and we can't really, you know, tell. Or basically, that's basically what's her explanation. And she was like, I told you he was doing so good because I thought he was. And I went home and cried like a baby. I went home and cried. I said, I'm failing my son. I'm failing him because I should have known that he was struggling, like really struggling to the point he couldn't read, he couldn't write. They were saying he didn't know any of his sight words that he was supposed to know. And I was like, there's no way. And she's like, then she goes on to say maybe he needs an IEP about his learning. And I'm like, there's no way, because there's no way, because I had taught him how to play chess in one day, right? So, and as soon as I told him the pieces, where it goes, everything, he learned chess in one day, right? So I'm like, there's no way. It's not hard for him to learn. I can teach him something, and he knows how to do it like that. So I didn't understand that one. So immediately I put him into tutoring, so he could learn about his, you know, do better with his words and his math and everything. And he still was not improving, and they wanted to put him in a special ed class, and I'm like, there's no way, because, you know, I don't see it. You know, I'm with him. I come home and I'm with him. I see how he learns. I see all this stuff. So I couldn't believe anything that they were saying to me. So, and it's hard for a teacher, right? Because they're dealing with 30 kids in the classroom. They can't just keep their eye 24/7 on one child all the time. So I understood the teacher too, where she was coming from. And once the end of the year came, I already had it in my head, like, I'm pulling him out of school. I'm going to change my whole life around. I'm going to stop working overnights, and I'm going to homeschool him. So, they told me, yeah, summer school. And I had contacted my cousin. She homeschooled two of her kids. So I asked her, how do I go about homeschooling? And she sent me everything I need to send them. She sent me the laws and everything. So I went ahead and did everything I had to do. Withdrew him out of school. He didn't do summer school. Within a month, he was reading chapter books. Within a month of me putting my mind to him, everything that they said that he was having a hard time learning, I did it with him within a month. And that's when I was like, that's when I lost faith in him going to these public schools. Because it's hard for one teacher to focus on, you know, to focus on one child in the classroom. So if he's home with me, I can focus, I can just focus all my energy on him, right? So everything that I teach him, he learns it. You know, everything they said he couldn't learn, he did. It was so hard for him to read, but he literally can pick up a book and start reading it. And what really helped him was when he's obsessed with his video games, right? And I'm like, don't you want to be able to read what people are writing you in the chat? Don't you want to be able to read, instead of saying, Mommy, can you help me read this? Don't you want to be able to read it for yourself? And that's what really pushed him to learn how to read. You know, math, he's good at math, but some things he has a hard time with. And I did have him get him tested with my own, you know, resources. I did do the public school system. I got him tested with my own, you know, through my own knowledge. I went and Googled, you know, how to get him tested. So I got him tested and basically seen what level of schooling he's on. Meatloaf, little meatloaf. Okay, let me get my macaroni salad started. So yes, so he loves homeschooling. He says he never wants to go back to school. You know, it's easier for him to learn. We just started using Easy Peasy Homeschool this year. And that one's way more easier for like older kids because he can read. They give him lessons and he can read and figure out what he has to do, you know, without me being, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, let me help you do it. If he needs help, I'm there. But other than that, he usually can go through his lessons, you know, like that. So yeah, so when he was in public school, there's things that he wanted to do that he couldn't do because I would gotta work and come home, gotta have to cook some dinner, then it was time for bed. There's nothing like real extra that we could have did together. You know what I mean? We played chess once in a while, but we really didn't spend much time together. So you know, and now he can do the things he loves. Like I can go on outschool where he can do chess lessons. He can do he learns sign language. This is stuff that they don't offer in public school for him. So, you know, things that he loves to do. He was taking like a Minecraft course. There's, you know, it's the limits. There's no limit on homeschooling. There's no set curriculum that I have to go through for him. He can do what he loves, plus learn what he needs, plus learn extra, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's why I decided to homeschool. That's why I love homeschooling, and I'm gonna homeschool all 4 of my kids because I lost faith in the public school system after the situation that happened with DJ. You know, because I was reading early because I was reading Captain Underpants, Junie B. Jones. I was reading all those chapter books. I always read Bud Not Buddy. That's a pretty big chapter book for a child, and I was not older than DJ. Had to be like 8. So I was in foster home still. So yeah, I had to be around 6, 7 when I started reading Bud Not Buddy. And you can look it up. It's a big chapter book, and I was reading like that was my coping mechanism, was reading chapter books. So the fact that I was like, he didn't like to read at all. Even after I taught him how to read, he still didn't really like to read books. So I went ahead and just ordered him like comic books, because I was like, you know, he doesn't like to read books, but let me see if he would like to read comic books. So I ordered some comic books, and I was like, there it goes. He's interested in stuff like that. So that's not all he reads. He reads multiple different type of books, but that was what he was really interested in. So that's what could keep him focused. So when I say go pick up a book, the first book he's gonna pick up is a comic book. But he's learning and he's reading stuff. I don't know what he's really learning from that, but he reads other books too. Like he's getting ready to start the book that I just finished, and it's the 4 Agreements, because I really think that was a really good book. So I really want him to read that. And yeah, it's just so yeah, that's all I have to say. Let me finish dinner. Oh my goodness. Hope that explains it. If you want to know anything else about the homeschool process, or if you want to know anything else about anything, just comment down below. And that's it. See you later, guys. Bye.